Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. I can't talk. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. I gotta turn this down a little bit in my ears. A little too jammy first thing on a Monday morning. But I like it. I like it. How you guys doing? What's up, man? Mr. Divian. You're everybody? What does that mean? Are you sentient? Or no? What's that word? Not sentient. Omnipotent. Everybody. Why, are you the only one in here right now? Well, guys, I had an awesome weekend. I checked out a little bit yesterday because I needed a day off. No one else in chat yet? Yeah. So, you guys might not know, but this is fairly new. I'm not new to YouTube streaming, but I was streaming all of this stuff over on Twitch, and I'm bringing it back to the tubes of you, because I don't know if there's a future. Well, it's to be determined yet if there's a future for non-gaming content over on YouTube or on Twitch, I should say, or Mixer for that matter. They don't even have categories yet, so I figured we'll do some gaming stuff from time to time over on Twitch, but YouTube's going to be the home going forward, because this channel, the DatacenterDude YouTube channel, is going to be where all my videos are. It might as well be where all my streams are too. So that's the mindset. We're going to try it out. We'll see if this has legs. We'll see if things get even better over here. They were going okay over on Twitch, but I think once everybody gets the hang of this, there's some things today that we still need to fix. Some of the overlays and graphics, some of the widgets, the announcing widgets and things like that. We're going to work on that in, I think, the second portion of the show today. But I wanted to give you guys an update of some stuff that I found out with the 10 gig over the weekend since we last spoke on Friday. And a lot's been happening with regards to that. So the real discussion topic today is really about 10 gigabit in the home, and is it viable? Is it worth it? Is it worth the expense? Am I enjoying? The short answer is hell yes. The short answer is, well, now I can't get to my Switch. Fantastic. Why can't I get to my Switch? Okay. Well, we might be starting out with some troubleshooting here to kick off the show. Well, that's pinging. So, we'll see how things go from here. But, is 10 gig worth it in the home? Maybe. It's going to be different for each person. It depends on your budget. It depends on what you're going to do with it, most importantly. And it depends on how important it is for you to do consolidation of things. So we're going to do a little bit of, I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff I learned over the weekend in the Switch, if I can get it pulled up. I'm not sure why it's not, the UI is not pulling up. Might need to boot it. I see link lights over there. It's up. So I'm not really sure what's going on with it, but we'll figure it out. Is it worth it? What's the budget look like? What do you do with it? I've got an entire list of videos over there that I'm going to be making over the next month alongside the live streaming series for the YouTube channel here that are basically things that we're going to talk about here on stream that I'm going to make it in a more digestible 5 to 10 minute format. How-to instructional videos and things like that. Just making sure that we're sharing all the things that we learn. We're going to talk about the difference between 10 gig and 1 gig outside of the normal, the obvious differences, what it's like to manage it and leverage it. how you bring data center functionality to the home and for what reason. We're going to talk about trunking. We're going to do some VLAN tagging. We're going to make sure that we reserve our trunk and route it specifically. We're going to reserve the 10 gig for access to storage. We're going to make a storage network is basically what we're going to do. We're going to use our 10 gig for storage networking. We're going to do some throughput testing. We're going to do some demos of rendering video from DaVinci Resolve and other platforms over 10 gig directly to the NAS. We're going to do some demos on how to map drives. I did a little bit of that on Friday when we were first bringing it up, but I want to show you guys how I broke everything on Friday by changing my drive letters and changing my folder structure, and had to scramble on Saturday before our wrestling show to get everything put back together, or at least remapped so that we could play all of our bumpers and have all of our graphics and things like that, because when you move the locations, it breaks a lot of stuff, right? As most of you probably know. But there's other things specific to the storage management of this that I really wanted to get into as well. And it has to do with things like bonding, doing bonds. So you can do some LACP and lag groups, segmenting the traffic, which I was talking about before with some VLAN tagging and some routing, how we can do synchronization between a PC and a Synology, or any NAS for that matter, or you can sync external third-party services down to your NAS. I intentionally populated the new NAS with old, like 2008-esque 1 terabyte drives, and the wrong kind of drives. I intentionally did that so that they're supposed to get here this week when the very large capacity Western Digital Red Pros get here. I want to show you guys how hot swaps work with disks. So if you ever lose a disk, you can just migrate, right? You can just move the disks. So we're gonna disable one of the disks in the software, simulate a failure, so to speak, and we're gonna pop the disk out without turning the array off and put the new disk in and watch what happens. And we're gonna have to do that one by one as it restripes across that new disk. But with the RAID 6 config of Synology Hybrid RAID, we can have up to 2 drive failures. So we can do 2 of those at a time. And with 8 drives, we might be able to do a couple of drives a week, depending on how much stuff is on there. There's not much on there right now. So there's not going to be much restriping or rebuild that has to happen. So we're going to do that. We're going to make videos about all of this stuff too. I'm going to show you guys the Synology Hybrid RAID options that you can configure in all of these. So if you're doing any kind of media management and you're considering whether or not to pull the trigger on a $2,000 home NAS project, because even if you use FreeNAS or Unraid or anything like that, you still have to buy the drives. And if you get anything 10 terabyte or higher, you're looking at $300-400 per drive. And if you get 8 to 10 of those, I mean, $1,000, $1,500 by the time you get that many drives. So it's still a significant investment, whether you're doing Synology, Unraid, FreeNAS, all of that stuff. The other thing I wanted to spend more time on, and I'm going to make a specific video on this actually, instead of spending too much time on stream about it, is which drives. Why don't you use certain drives over the others? Why my drives have performed flawlessly for 7 years. 7 years, and I've never had to change a single drive. I think once I took them out of the array to move. I think even when I moved across the country, I just packed it back up in the styrofoam box that it came in. That's the other thing I'll remind you guys of. We've got some unboxing videos. I've shot a ton of B-roll footage. We're going to show unboxing of it. I'm going to show you guys how to package it for cross-country moves, for travel, anything like that. Just keep the styrofoam in the box that it comes in. It's a perfect little suitcase, carrying case. It's got a handle. All you got to do is put it back in that. And it's got big, thick, chunky foam that wraps, it seals it, holds it in place. So yeah, oops. What's oops? Oh, you talking about me with BWO? Yeah. In case you guys don't know, I do a wrestling podcast a couple times a week. Mr. Jonathan Sprague. is part of that community. But yeah, if you want to come and hang out, if you're into the Graps, we do a live YouTube show every Tuesday nights and Saturday afternoons. You guys can come join. But yeah, check out the channel. All right, so let's get to work. I got to figure out why. Did I type in the IP wrong? I got to figure out why this thing is not coming up properly. I need to grab... Oh, it's right there. I'm wondering if it rebooted itself. Well, no, because I can ping it. Hang on. It's there. It's got its right IP. I had a power outage on Friday night, but I didn't really mess. Yeah, I did mess with this Friday night. No, that was Saturday night. I can't keep track of the days anymore. So why is this thing not? Nothing's coming up. But I can ping it. Interesting. Interessante. All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on because I was in it. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm going to plug directly into the switch. Let me get a cable sorted and I'll be right back. Oh, fun networking troubleshooting. That's what we all wanted to do today. Isn't it? I'm sure this is what everybody signed up for. There we go. Alright, so that guy's plugged in. There's the other end. Yeah, this is what you guys are here for, right? Quality content. Sorry about that. Yay, networking. All right. Well, we may not be able to fix this on stream today, but the switch is working. Everything's working. For some reason, I can't pull it up on this computer. So I should have known better than to start unplugging stuff as soon as in the middle of a live stream. But the switch is working. No, that's not what I want. Okay. Well, what that tells me is that it tells me several things. One, my routing is not correct. I should be going out 1 gig to my core switch and 10 gig to my storage network. And that's something we got to fix right here. So we'll get all that fixed. I am not going to try and do any more of this on stream because I got to get... I hate it maybe I make some videos about it once I get it all sorted out and I walk everybody through how to do it properly. But yeah, trying to troubleshoot that on stream is probably not the best idea, as you guys just witnessed, because I'm a terrible streamer. And that's what it is. So no more networking. Especially not the switches while we're live. I thought that would be a fun experiment or a fun use case to show here, but we see what happened. Boo! So all I unplugged was my uplink and console port from the 10 gig switch to the core switch. So all I can gather right now, because of that, what that tells me is that my network, that I am actually transmitting all of this over 10 gig, and then it's uplinking to the core switch. That's what that's telling me. So, what do we got? Yeah. So basically what I need to do is make sure that this is a private network. I need to isolate it. I need it to only be for this workstation and the Synology to communicate with each other, is really what that comes down to. And I'm not going to try and do that here on the stream anymore because, well, we just witnessed what happened. So I'm going to work on that over the next couple of days. We'll get back to that, and I'll show you guys what I did, and I'm going to make a video about it. I'm going to record myself doing it so that I can make a YouTube video about it in case you guys run into this. But yeah, we're going to do some storage networking. Basically, I'm going to have two different exits from this machine so that when I run Resolve and I'm accessing footage, it's coming over 10 gig. But when I'm just browsing the internet or streaming or anything else, it's going out over the 1 gig. I'd love to be able to work on the storage network and the storage array without it having any effect on my ability to stream, connect to the internet, things like that. So that's some work I've got to do. I need to set up a separate private network, non-routed L2 storage network. And I can't do that right now. Not while I'm streaming, unfortunately. Oh man, Ninja, you missed all the fun. So since you missed it, I'll fill you in real quick. Basically, I can connect to the switch, or I cannot connect to the switch. I can ping it, right? It pings, it's there, but for some reason, oh come on, Windows, work with me here. What did I do differently? Oh boy. Web GUIs. Web GUIs, guys. Web GUIs. So basically, Ninja, what happened is I unplugged the uplink port from my core switch to my 10 gig switch. What that taught me very quickly was routing tables are messed up somewhere. Yeah, oops. Let me see if I can get the chat to come back here on my window. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we're back. We dropped down for a minute while I was doing some cable fumbling, and basically have just resolved to never try to do network troubleshooting while live. At least not on the same network. So I wanted to show you guys what I figured out since Friday. So in system, here's the thing with the MicroTik switches. It can operate as a router or it can operate as a switch. Now, you've got two different OSs that you can boot to, basically. You've got SWOS and you've got Router OS. Router OS includes some L3 functionality. It includes a BGP, all kinds of stuff. It is robust. But for this, we don't need any of that. We don't really need any of that. This is going to be a dedicated storage network so that we have gigabit out to the internet, and we have 10 gig that's just a private storage network, not really transmitting anything else. So I've got to set up a private VLAN. I've got to do some tagging. I've got to do some routing, right? Basically, I'm wondering if I even need to uplink. Once I get it all configured, I don't even want to uplink the 10 gig switch to the core switch. That's what it comes down to. So I'll have to do all of that online. Hard lesson learned. But what I wanted to show you guys was I finally found the way to get into Switch OS after Friday not being able to get that. So now I've just got the switch. I've just got the interfaces. Here are my SFPs, the two that are plugged in, right? You can do port isolation. You can do lags. We're going to get into all of this stuff. Again, I'm not going to do it on stream until I get everything completely isolated. Port forwarding, all kinds of stuff. Transmissions and receive stats, error tracing, history. Here's your VLANs that are set up. I guess that's where you can just monitor them. Here are all your hosts that are connected, right? IGMP if you want to do any of that. SNMP, which I almost want to turn off. Yeah, I don't need that. ACLs, if you want to create any of that stuff. System is where you set your IP. It's static. You put in your name, get your MAC address, all that. That's really it. All we're going to be doing with this is some VLAN tagging and some lag groups. And that's really it. Oh, we can upgrade. Well, I definitely need to do that. Holy shit, it's December 2017. Not a bad idea to shoot while you set it all up and put it out as a separate vid. No, absolutely we'll be doing that. So one of the things that also you missed in the beginning is I was going over this whole roadmap of videos that I had laid out. There's 12 video ideas I have over there on the whiteboard just for 10 gig in the home and Synology. So a lot of it is me doing exactly this right now, except doing record instead of stream. And we can work through this kind of stuff, and I can chop all of that into consumable videos. All of that coming over the next month or so as we go through this stuff. But I want to show you guys all of the stuff. All the stuff and things. And it looks like I'm running a 3-year-old or 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old version of the OS here. I did not check this. But hey, it works. Maybe that's why I was having connectivity issues. I'm scared to do the download and upgrade because it's going to take the Switch offline and take the stream offline again. So, fun times. It's always the network, guys. It's always the network. You can blame it's the network and DNS. Every single time. Every single time. No matter what. Every good data center engineer has a story where they took the whole data center down. The whole operation. I have one. Maybe a second one. But it didn't take the whole data center down. Because it was mostly a power outage. A safety switch. We tripped a breaker. And so, I mean, I don't know if that's a safety thing. And that was from a faulty power supply that overloaded and tripped a breaker. So I don't know if I would call that one me making a mistake. Backups are the early warning system for networking troubles. Yeah. Looking at your backup logs, the drinking your coffee, coming in first thing? Or have they run overnight? Did they succeed or fail? If they failed, there's usually a reason. That's a good point, Ninja. So fun story. The one time I took my entire company down, and it took days to really figure this out and isolate this. It was when we had virtualized most of the core server infrastructure. It's probably about 2007, 2008, late 2007, early 2008. So I got all of the servers up and running with 10 gig Ethernet connecting up to the top of rack. And the one thing we had to do, one thing that was left over, was getting 10 gig cards into the NetApp storage arrays, which were brand new, by the way, at this time. Like, nobody had really... We were out on the bleeding edge in 2007, 2008 doing 10 gig. We were one of the first big companies to early adopt it. And we were also doing it with the new Nexus switches, the 5000 Nexus 5Ks. Brand new. So SFP Plus had just come out too. Like, all kinds of stuff had just all appeared at one time, circling around 10 gig. The Nexus switches, twin-ax cabling, SFP Plus specification, like all of this stuff kind of all happened at one time. So the servers, we were using HP DL 580s, big 4U, 4 CPU, those were our ESX hosts. And I was virtualizing my ass off, P2Ving as many as I could, yanking 1U and 2U old servers out of the rack. We had a pallet that took a forklift to get it out of the data center with a pallet jack. Probably almost 100 servers in the first few months. Just yanked. Done. Dead. I had more rack space than I knew what to do with by the end of 2008. We ended up shrinking our cage footprint in half. We went from 2 rows down to 1 row of, I think we had four racks and a telco rack. From 3 rows of 12 cabinets and a telco rack down to 4 and a telco rack. Anyway, go to put the 10 gig cards in the NetApps, reboot them, do the ONTAP updates needed to bring the drivers in for those. Everything's going great. Everything connects up great. I'm able to mount data stores. And then sometime during the next day, we get the phone call from somebody somewhere that's saying they can't get access to a certain thing. And then the entire virtual infrastructure goes italics in vCenter. If you've never seen your entire data center just go italics because it can't connect to it, and you're looking around going, I have no idea what's happening right now. So you begin chasing all these little squirrels and things that it possibly could be. Oh, maybe just restart vCenter. Oh, well, I can't because I can't connect to the vCenter VM. Why not? Start chasing all these little things. Long story short, ultimately, it ended up being an issue, a bug in flow control in the driver firmware for the 10 gig cards that we were using in the NetApp. What would happen is the only way I figured it out is I raced over to the colo facility and was looking at the back of the servers. This was after 2 hours of troubleshooting, by the way, of everything else, trying everything on the software side, when I should have done it the other way around. Always start with the physical. Rule number 1, always start with the physical. Any data center stuff, always start with the physical. I went around to the back of the cages, and I noticed that the 10 gig cards had a different looking kind of link light on it. And there was the green link light, and then there was an orange, solid orange link light. Solid orange. Okay, that looks out of place. I'd never seen that before. What it turned out to be is that the activity light was blinking so fast, it looked solid. It was maxed out. And because it was maxed out, there was some sort of buffering issue to do with flow control, that it was not letting any traffic get through. So it was so bottlenecked that it wouldn't let anything get past, like my NFS data stores that were being mounted from the array to the ESX hosts. Quick bounce of the interface, and everything lit back up and started working again. Obviously, the operating systems and the VMs, and it was a disaster. It took me almost an entire day to fully recover, get everything rebooted, and communicating again. But a tiny little bug in the firmware of a network driver for a 10 gig card annihilated my entire data center. Network. It's always the network. It's always the network. So, no more network troubleshooting live on stream. Let's do some fun stuff. First of all, this is the Monday stream. This is what I consider office hours. This is what I'm looking for all of the EMEA folks to come in, because this one is 10 a.m. on a Monday, just for you guys. Somebody recommended that I do one to accommodate the UK and EMEA a little bit earlier during the week. Here I am. Where are you guys? So this one may or may not stick around at 10 a.m. going forward. I may move this one to 1. Because something was asked for and it's not being proven. Well, okay. Well, you're here, Jason. Hi. Nice to see you. Sorry, I didn't see you in the list. I take back everything, and I'm just kidding. Now, let's figure out if this is totally viable for the EMEA crew. I am down to continue doing it. It's trickier in the mornings to get through any meetings I have that are early. So, it was worth trying. And I think Yan was the one. It was either you or Yan that recommended that we do one a little bit earlier to accommodate EMEA. But I just want to make sure that the time is useful. And if it's, it can be 10 a.m., it can be 1 p.m. for me, and it's kind of irrelevant which of the two. But if certain people or groups of people are able to show up at one time over the other, I do want to accommodate that. Make sure that we have some time. So, last week we had the AWS Summit online. This week we're doing MS Build. So let's take a peek at that real quick. What I want to show you guys real quick what we're going to be doing. MS Build. So, Friday. No. When is the 19th? Tomorrow. Where is the agenda? Event website. Here we go. We went through this 2 weeks ago, and we lined up the AWS Summit, and now we're going to do the Microsoft Build conference. They're doing a virtual event as well. And I was looking for here we go. So we're going to have an 8 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern start time. So plus another 4 for you guys, Jason, I believe. So that would put you at like 3:20, I believe is what that is, GMT. We're going to have a little keynote from Satya Nadella here, and then we're basically just going to, my hope is that we can stream most of this all throughout the day. So, again, keep in mind, this is going from 8 to 12. We're going to have this keynote session from Satya, and then we're going to have little small segments here all the way up till about noon, lunchtime, and then these all afternoon is digital breakouts. So we're going to end here, and I don't think they're doing this at separate times for different time zones, okay? So they're doing the social hour, but then they're coming back and kind of doing the same thing over again, right? So basically you've got empowering Imagine Cup and every developer is welcome. Empowering Imagine Cup, every developer is welcome. So they're doing it for the two different time zones, right? Smart. It's clever, right? It's a good way to attack this. But then the same thing, if you look at the times, 12:15 a.m. Pacific, so 3:15 a.m. Eastern. Yeah. When are we doing? Yes. So Wednesday, May 20th, we'll be back at 9:45. So yeah, we're gonna have Tuesday and Wednesday. We're gonna be doing watch parties for build. We're not going to try and watch many of the sessions like we've done in the past. People tend to drop off for that. They like to watch on their own time. That's fine. But I do want to cover these keynotes from Scott Hanselman and Satya Nadella. So we'll see how. I mean, Scott Guthrie's going to be here. Rajesh. Yeah. So we'll cover this whole morning. This 2 or 3 hours. We'll watch party for those. So it's 7:30 in Pacific now and 3:30. Where you're at. Okay. So that is 6 hours. Am I doing that right? 4, 5, 8 hours. 8 hours. Yeah. So 8-hour difference Pacific, 5-hour difference from East is the way I always look at it. We also account for the daylight savings time shit here in the U.S., which I'm not really sure if the rest of the world even acknowledges or honors that. You could probably be on for this one tomorrow, which would put you, let's see, 8:20. That would put you at 4:20 p.m. your time. But yeah, even this early morning stuff is tricky. So yeah, the idea here is we're hopefully start at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. You'll try and make the start, and yeah, and then Wednesday should be okay. Okay. Yeah, so we're basically going to do 8 to noon Pacific tomorrow, and then we're going to do 9 to noon Pacific on Wednesday. We're going to be doing those watch parties. So later today after stream, I got to shoot some little promo. Hey guys, come join us for the watch party. Blah, 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 blah. Radio Shock Jock. Boo, 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 boo. We're going to do some of that stuff so that NetApp can help promote. We can promote some stuff. Try to bring people together to the Discord. I thought about trying to stream it to the Discord, but I thought it would be better here for YouTube. Mainly because I'll show you guys why. For some reason, AWS didn't put up a VOD for the Werner keynote from AWS. So guess who was hitting the top of the search rankings for the watch party? You guys can't, you can barely see that. 490 right there. So that got some serious activity, which I wasn't expecting. Build is not going to have that problem. They've got Channel 9. They're streaming everything from their own stuff. They're not going to have that issue. But we'll be here on YouTube. We will be here live watching it together in our good old watch party. But yeah, Jason, it'd be great if you could be there. One of these days I want to bring you... my hope for the watch party is long term. It's hard to scramble and do these as they're happening right now, as we're doing the watch parties sort of ad hoc. We're trying to find ways to promote them, because I think this is how conferences are going to go for the rest of the year. It's pretty much already decided. So I want to make sure I'm here for everybody else that can't go, that wants to do some watch-alongs, right? So build tomorrow is going to start at, I'm probably going to fire up the stream at 8 a.m. We'll start at 8:20. We'll go till noon. Or whenever the 11 o'clock one finishes and they jump to doing digital breakouts for 3 or 4 hours. You can see that 4-hour gap between these two. Right? And then on Wednesday, same thing. We'll probably start at 9:30. We'll fire up the stream at 9:30, get everybody in here. They're going to start at 9:45. And again, go to about noon whenever this one ends. And we'll talk about it. We'll hang out afterwards. Chat about it. Chat about what we saw, if there were any announcements. The AWS Summit last week, there weren't really a lot of announcements. So that's one thing I'm curious about, is how are companies going to deal with trying to do the same press, launch, announce circuit cycle thing? Or are they? Are we just delaying things until we know what the world's going to look like a year from now? It'll be interesting. Definitely. Hey, here's Scott. Hey, man. Sonia. There's Hanselman. Nice. I'm looking forward to this. We did a watch party for Ignite last year, and it went extremely well. I had a lot of fun doing it, and now that there's some sort of corporate sponsorship backing in me doing these, we've got some excitement out there for it, especially with what's going on in the world right now. There's a lot of excitement around doing virtual events. So not only putting them on, but attending them. So the idea that I had was, well, let's bring everybody together in one place and attend it together. Let's see if we can simulate the hangouts and the herd mentality that where we would typically get together in groups, walk the floor, go get a beer, all of that kind of stuff. Let's see if we can simulate that, the experience of the virtual event, so that it doesn't feel so corporate, doesn't feel so put on. And I just want an excuse to hang out with you guys on stream. So this is killing multiple birds with one stone for me. So yeah, Microsoft Build. Microsoft Build happening tomorrow and Wednesday. Make sure you guys are here for that. Make sure you get, well, you won't have to be registered. I got to be registered. Oh, man. Oh, today's a big day. May 18th is a big day. Today is the 3-month anniversary of my shoulder surgery. And let me show you guys something. Ow! It hurts. It's sore, but it's a good stretch now. It feels good. I can get back to it. We're probably another 3 months away. I'm back to rehab. I'm back to PT finally. Started back last week. And let's just say that I hadn't gone for a month because of the lockdown and the shelter-in-place orders and all of that stuff. But I went back last week for the first time and have 2 more appointments tomorrow and Thursday. And I'm going Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday for the next 3 months, and until I can throw a ball with full force again. So basically what the therapist asked me is, when I very first went in, he says, do you ever want to throw again? So backstory, I'm going to a pitcher-specific rehab guy group. So they do nothing but work on pitchers, mostly, right? They also do some work with the elderly, and they also do some work on, other things, but they mostly work with, they are professional trainers and physical therapists, meaning that they know how to do sports therapy, athletics, and things like that. It's not a mill where after you go to surgery, you go to this place for 3 weeks and they churn you out as fast as they can. This is, I'm rehabbing as if I'm trying to get back to playing baseball. So it's accelerated, it's intense, it's thorough. In addition to working the shoulder, we're also working on my knee that I had surgery on 8 years ago that never healed properly, so we're doing that stuff. So it's intense. There's a lot. Let's just say that this experience rehabbing my shoulder is night and day difference from the one I had 8 years ago doing my knee, where I went through a hospital mill system of rehab. This is very one-on-one. This is very focused. And it's a couple hours a week of just hardcore. Plus, starting today, I've reintroduced yoga, DDP yoga, back into the mix. So we started that today. So to get some breathing and some stretching and some flexibility and some flexing of your muscles. I'll show you guys a trick real quick. Reach out and grab the ball. Right? Put both hands straight out in front of you, level to the floor. And I want you to take your thumb and your pinky and pull it apart as far as you can. And I want you to grab the ball with your knuckles. And I want you to flex your forearms and flex your biceps to the point that you're shaking. Do that for 30 seconds and watch how fast your heart rate goes up. That's what I'm doing. So if you can't run, if you can't cycle, if you can't do traditional cardio, there's options. And I know a lot of dudes roll their eyes at yoga, turn their nose up to it and all that, but you do it for a good 40 minutes and you're winded. You're bent over going you're covered in sweat. You have no idea why or how because you haven't run anywhere. But it's because of your heart rate. You've gotten your heart rate up so high. Best $65 I ever spent was to get those DVDs. And I can't wait to get back into it. Some of the stuff I can't do right now, like Down Dog or Cobra or runner stance, any of those kinds that load up the shoulder that put weight on it. I'm not doing those yet. So what else do we want to do today? Today, I wanted to work on some, because of the transition from Twitch to YouTube, I broke some stuff that I was really excited about. You guys might remember the rotator widgets that I added to the Twitch stream. Well, when you move that stuff, it breaks things. So what I want to work on is how do I bring some of that stuff back? I want to finish dressing up this stuff right here, the way that we had it over there. I want to finish putting the information underneath here. I kind of stopped doing that. So this is going to be a little bit of me doing some busy work and me showing you guys some of the inner workings of some of the more advanced pieces of stream elements. Right? Good times. So let's work on that. We can close build. And if you're not into this stuff, you're not into this stuff. Don't, if you have other questions, throw them in chat. I'm happy to chat about it. This is our office hour stream every week. AMA, guys. Anything you want to chat about, anything you got questions about. The other thing that I want to build real quick, if you guys will bear with me, is a new kit for the Synology build out that we're doing, so that I can have links to it, right? So I like that now you got there's some analytics that you can see on the kit website. Once you're on there long enough, like I've had it for about a month now, I guess, but they give you some actual analytics from the kits, right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Everybody seems to really like this starter kit. Everybody seems to really like the live stream bundle. Lots of views here. I like it. So let's add a kit, create a new kit. We're going to call this Synology plus 10 gig Ethernet. Let's do 10 gigabit Ethernet. Here are all of the pieces I used to introduce 10 gig Ethernet to my home studio alongside a high performance NAS. Cool. Actually, let's go back one. No, what? No. Where is it? Did it? Okay, I guess it saved it. I wanted to change that. Edit this kit. I want to do Synology Home NAS. So for the search. All right. All right, so we got that, and let's add a product. Let's actually start with the Synology. Can you search right here? I always go grab the link. 1817. 1819, 1817 diskless. Sure. I specifically chose this model because it has both 1 gig and 10 gig ports on board. No expansion card required. What are the picture options? Sure. There we go. So we'll add that. We need to add the MicroTik. Oh, God. I need to find the part number. Is it 3809? Let's just search for that, see what comes up. There it is right there. 9-port. Bang. Done. Is that the right one? Yeah. Okay. You can choose either this one or the 4-port variant. Oh, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, guys, one of the problems I ran into was for some reason, I only ordered 2 SFP Plus modules. Don't know why. I need 4. I thought I ordered 4. But I ended up going back to Amazon and looking, and for some reason I only ordered 2. So I ordered 2 more. They'll be here tomorrow. So we'll be ready for Wednesday's. Well, we'll be streaming build on Friday. We'll be ready for Friday's stream to light all of those up. And then I know that we can do some bonds. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to do networking live on stream again after what happened earlier. Jason, if you weren't here for that, that was a lot of fun. You can choose either this one or the 4-port variant, depending on your port count requirements. I went with the 8-port because I immediately needed 4 and wanted room to expand. You caught a bit of it? All right. Is that it? I guess we could put some cables in there. Cable matters. 50-foot Cat 6. I don't need a 5-pack. See these damn 5-packs. 25-foot. No. Shielded. That's pretty. 6A. It's nice looking. Is that a 50-footer? No. What? Guys, I'm looking for 50 feet, not 20. Here. All right. This is why I don't do that kind of search crap. Let's just do 50-foot Cat 6. Cable matters. Right there. Yep. Okay. So we'll go text, grab the link, copy. Back. Nope. Go back. Quantity 2 of these for runs from PC to Switch. Add to kit. Then we're going to grab the Cable Matters, Cat 6. What did I do? 5 footers? Yeah. I don't need... I think I bought the 10 pack by accident. Can you type single? The irony of this is I do think I'm going to end up using a lot of these, the 5 footers that I bought. That's, yeah. Because I'm going to recable a lot of my stuff that's in the... So I am going to end up using them. Did I need Cat 6? No. For all of that? No. But it's not going to hurt. I wish they made it easier to find... Like, I just want a single cable. Actually, you know what? A 5-pack's not a bad idea. Because I need... So what I ended up using them for was I needed 4 total cables. I needed 2 to the core switch, and I needed 2 to the 10 gig switch out of the Synology by itself. And then I'm going to cable up the other Synology. So I've got 2 of them now. They're stacked on top of each other. You guys have seen the pictures, I believe. I'm going to have the other ones running out of the other Synology going to the core switch as well. And those cables that I'm using now are really old, and I'm just going to replace them. I accidentally ordered this 5-pack, 2 of the 5-packs, thinking I was getting 2 cables. I got 2 5-packs. So I got 10 of these guys sitting around. So I'm just going to recable everything. New, fresh, updated cables. It'll be fine. So let me grab this one. Copy. Paste link. Uh, 5-pack item. Grab as many of these at whatever length you need. And I think that's... Oh, no. No. We're not done. Let me actually just go to my orders here. So I can grab each of these items. There's my 2 more that I ordered. So switch, cable. Here's the SFPs. SFP Plus, sorry. That. And that. Make sure you get enough for redundant population, i.e. 2 for the Synology uplinks and 2 for your PC uplink. Don't make the mistake I did. And then let's go back to the 10 gig card, which works fantastic. 10G Tech, love this stuff. It just discovered it. Now, I did have to go download Intel drivers for the X540 AT2. Yeah, right there. It came with a CD, but who's got an optical drive anymore? I certainly haven't had one in the better part of a decade. So I had to go download the Intel. Basically, download the Intel drivers. It loads up fine. Windows does not recognize that. It recognizes it, but it doesn't have drivers for it right away. But once I went and grabbed the drivers from Intel, bada bing, bada boom. Showed up, lit up, connected up, just fine. The beauty is they've got all the different card interface types here if you want. So if you just want an SFP Plus slot, you can get that one. Really cheap too, $100 for the card. I've seen these as low as $50. So if you've got twin-ax or if you've got short runs and you can just use twin-ax cables, you can get those off eBay for $30, right? But if you're wanting to use RJ45, you're going to have to pay a little bit more. I paid a little bit more as well for the 2-port. You can get the 1-port, but it's only about $15 cheaper. Get the 2-port. Trust me. What is 10 base 2? What is the X550? Okay. I got the X540. It's the most ubiquitous one. Other than the 520 stuff that you used to use when servers with twin-ax cabling. So copy that, paste. We won't really say much about that. Okay, so we've got interface card, SFP Plus modules, short-run cables, long-run cables, switch, and the Synology itself. Let's add some discs to the kit. So WD Red Pro. Yep. And they're going to have all the sizes here you can get. So I link straight to this. I'm going to put it at the 10 terabyte. It's what I would recommend if you're building a NAS today in current times to make this last 5 years or more. I don't think drives smaller than 10 terabytes are going to exist in 5 years. Hot take. Other than thumb drives. I think we're going to have 4 terabyte thumb drives before too long. Whew. These will be down to $150. Like right now, you can find them on sale for $150 as an external device. And you hear about people shucking and doing all that kind of stuff, right? All right, so text, copy. No. Copy. Edit this kit. Wait, add products. That's what I want. Save. So if you're making the investment, 7,200 RPM, 10 terabyte or larger, minimum. Right. Okay. So if we edit this kit, we can now drag things around. So Synology switch, cable. Let's put these up here. Like that. Yep. Okay. New kit done. Thank you guys for humoring me. Letting me get that out of the way. That looks great. Awesome. What am I missing? Let me go back to my order. I still want to call these GBICs. Yeah, all right. Enough of that. Let's go work on some overlay stuff. That's the wrong one. Yes. My overlays. All right, so what we're going to work on today is we're going to add some widgets back to my other thing. And it comes from, you guys might have seen me mention Harris Heller or Sam Woodhall and how they've introduced me to a lot of new stuff over the last year along this streaming journey. And Sam especially has worked with a couple of other developers, and they've come up with these rotating widgets and they've given them back to the community for everybody to use. Let me find where this is. There it is. So on Sam's Discord, he's got all of these here available. So he compiled them all in one place. They've got them for Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and then they've got the badge metric and an interval timer for Twitch. They're working on these for YouTube and Mixer as well. So what we wanted to look at was the alpha subtrain, which is fun, but not nearly as useful on YouTube as it is for rotating feed. Did I bring that in already? No. So we'll bring this in, and I'll show you guys how it works. Basically, if you just click on, whenever you're sharing, if you take your sharing link from Stream Elements, you can share that widget with anybody else, and when they click on it, it'll bring it straight into your dashboard here on Stream Elements. All right. So if we go click on it and go into edit, we can take a peek at it, right? And you guys can see this in practice, right? You'll see it flip around. It'll show a bunch of stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to modify this to match my color aesthetic, fonts that I like, all that, and I'll show you guys how you can determine it. So you've got what's called our events. Certain things happen. Somebody leaves a super chat. Somebody subscribes to the channel. All that kind of stuff. These are all events, things that happen. So latest subscriber, latest new subscriber, we can set that one, and we can just have their name there, right? So that one can be the event 1. The event 2, what else do we have in here? All of these are in here for all the different things. So you've got Mixer Embers, you've got Twitch subs, Twitch bits, all of that. But down at the bottom, you've got all the YouTube stuff. So tipping, Stream Elements tipping, number of likes, all that kind of stuff. So let's see. These are supporters. Total. What are fans? What metric is fans from? Or what platform? Super chat, sponsors, Embers. That's getting into Mixer now. So we can do highest super. Well, we can't do super chats yet because I'm not monetized. You have to be 1,000 subscribers or more and be monetized. And frankly, I don't really want this channel to be about monetization that much. You know, not yet. Down the road, maybe. So I don't know where fans are coming from. Shares this session. Like, I don't know what metrics these are for, what platform these metrics are for. Total stars? Is that Facebook? It must be Facebook. They must have built Facebook into this as well. Supporters. Interesting. Am I missing the YouTube subscriber? I guess I used that one already. Yeah, it's different than Twitch, man. This is fantastic for if you're an entertainment show and you're monetized and people are doing super chats, and like we're using it on Busted Wide Open and it's fantastic. But I wanted to find a way to incorporate it into YouTube here as well, or the DatacenterDude stream. And it's just not... It's not that useful without monetization, is it? It's really not. Because it's all about monetizing. So maybe we don't use this. So this is total subscribers could be interesting. But it's not it's not showing me YouTube subscribers. That's Twitch subs. Super chat, session, fans. That's got to be a Facebook gaming thing. Stars and shares and likes. That screams Facebook. I hate when I feel helpless. Latest followers. That's Twitch. Twitch. Sub. I don't know what sub point. Oh, I know what that is. Highest all-time sub gifter. Yeah, that's Twitch. Host raids, cheers. Those are Twitch. Embers is Mixer. Weekly Embers. Sparks is Mixer. Sponsor. I guess sponsor might be YouTube as well, but I don't know that we're going to be doing any of that. Super chats are YouTube. Highest session super chat, weekly super chat. So all they've got is super chats for YouTube? Come on. There's got to be more than that. All right, well, shit, that throws a monkey wrench in this plan. It's a shame too because it looks really nice. So it's not showing latest. So I would love to have like latest subscriber, total subscribers, and things for YouTube. I'm just not like it's not showing me anything. Am I on YouTube? Yeah. So that is what metric is that right there? Because that is showing my latest subscriber. Eduardo Casarero is my latest subscriber. So if I look at event 1, latest subscriber, new and resub. Okay, so it is pulling that. So let's leave that one there. That's my latest subscriber. Latest sponsor. Latest super chat. 4 and 5 are none. We can turn super chat to none. Because we're not doing super chats. I guess the only real metric I have, I'd love to see total subs. So do we have total subs? Is it going to pull with followers? No, it's thinking of Twitch. Is there a total subscribers? Let's try that one. It should be about 150, 120 something. No, it's still not. Okay. So this is kind of annoying because you put all this effort into making this ubiquitous across all the different platforms, but you don't give the one metric that's important to YouTubers. Like latest subscriber, new and resub, latest new subscriber, latest resubscriber. Subscribers in the last month, maybe? Nothing, because it's not Twitch. Like somehow, unless it's pulling this from Twitch as well. Let's go over and look at that. Let's go take a peek at that because that might be what's confusing me here. Let's go to creator dashboard. No, latest subscriber is Dennis Foucher. Oh, Carlin followed me back. Okay. Subscriber goal progress. Host raid cheer. I would love to pull in total subs with total subscribers, latest subscriber. That's really all you can do right now on YouTube. And outside of super chats, it's really just about subscribers to your channel. What else is there? Am I missing something? I like the simplicity of that as well. There's not a lot of cheers and bits and gifted subs and redemptions and merch and like there's all that stuff you can do on Twitch that it's overwhelming. And if you're not careful, you just end up sitting there reading out people giving you stuff instead of actually streaming content. So that's a lot of that stuff is mildly overdone in my opinion. I just don't know what sponsors are. Is that a Mixer thing? So here's the super chats, which we're using heavily on Busted Wide Open. I use these on the metric, on the rotator quite a bit. And it's fantastic if you've got a bunch of people doing super chats. Latest fan. Shares. Let me actually ask in Sam's Discord real quick. Creative. In the rotating widget for YouTube, I'm not finding a total subs metric in there. It seems to only be about super chats. Latest sub does pull in the latest subscriber to the channel, but there isn't anything else besides super chats to populate the widget with. All right. V will see what they have to say. I just asked in his Discord, and if anybody's going to know, they're going to know, because they're all hanging out using his stuff. We need a little caffeine. There we go. So there's that. Okay, what else was missing? The ticker. What was the ticker? Oh, that was the Twitch thing. Okay. That was basically a different version of this. Let's, 1 second. I want to check in the Alpha Gaming one to see if they've updated theirs. Designs and sounds. I think it was updates. Alpha updates. That's all stream beats. Rotating feed V2. Yeah, okay. So you guys that are somewhat familiar with Twitch, you can see where this would be fantastic on Twitch, right? It's going to show you your latest subscriber. It's going to show you who gave you the bits last. You can do top gifted subs. Basically all the metrics that show up at the top of the chat on Twitch when you're watching a channel. You can have them in this cool little rotating widget that just keeps going and going, and then just take this and put it underneath your camera border, or if you have a HUD or anything like that, you can integrate it into that. But for YouTube, there's really not that much. And I like the simplicity of that, but it also leads to less innovation. Tip super chat options. Currency, okay. Animation options. Nope. Crap. I wanted this to be more. I had high hopes. I had really high hopes. And you know what? Frankly, I'd love to hear from you guys as we go through this whole process, what your thoughts are on streaming on Twitch versus YouTube. And I will definitely feign Twitch as being the superior streaming platform. Hands down. But for the discoverability and the content that I'm doing that's not gaming, is it viable still? I don't know. And I think that's the experiment we're going to try for the next couple of months. And we'll see. We'll continue to see where things go from here. So, let's see. Yeah, people are in there chatting. Maybe usually if somebody doesn't get back right away, nobody knows. So, all right. So what other things do I need to fix? Oh, we need to finish populating. Well, I want to leave it on the Stream Elements side so you guys can see it. We need to finish populating what goes. So that my hope is that if you guys can see right here underneath my camera, I was hoping to put that widget right here underneath. That way I don't need any big bulky overlays, anything crazy like that, right? That was the intention. But now I'm torn. And this is one of those things that makes me want to entertain the idea of Twitch more. Discoverability here is hard. You tried on Friday to locate your stream on TV and Xbox without me logging in, and already being subbed, there was no search term that found you. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do you think, man? Like, I don't want to, throw in the towel on it already, but I'm starting to see things that are annoying enough to me without having an audience to bring along. It's not going to help either YouTube or Twitch. So do you go back to the concept of make videos on YouTube, stream on Twitch? I don't think if you're playing video games on Twitch, you're going to have a good time, and it makes all the sense in the world. If it's just me in just chatting all the time, if I'm not talking about live streaming and overlays and shit like that, if I'm in here doing working on cloud stuff, it's incredibly difficult either way. It is. So I guess what I really want to say is I'm not approaching this in a dependent sort of way where my success or failure is going to be determined by randos finding me. My intention here is to build up the blog. We're overhauling the website right now. We've got the Discord up and running. My intention is to drive people to a stream, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch or both, in some schedule, from some other means. I'm not going to be discovered as a streamer on either platform. I understand that. There's no glass ceiling I'm breaking through here. I agree, man, but who's stepping up? And does self-interest hold sway and people just promote their own stuff? To your point, it's really got to be a squad. I want to do everything I can to promote as many people as I can. I want to once you guys are all up and running streaming, I want to put you guys so that you're announced in the Discord. I want to get as many people going. Hey, it doesn't have to happen tomorrow. We've got all year to figure this out. We're all stuck in our houses. Right? And yes, we all still have day jobs and all of that stuff, but, you know, it needs to be a community effort. 100%. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. The question is, how do we want to design that? And I think it's up to us. I think we really have the power and the capability to do this however we want to do it. And it feels a little bit like Christian Slater in Pump Up the Volume, a little bit of pirate radio kind of thing going on. We're out here speaking out. We're out here saying things that maybe don't, go away, that maybe don't adhere to the status quo, that isn't corporate speak, and that's exactly what I want it to be. It's exactly what I want it to be. The polar opposite of what would be expected. I'm checking my calendar to see if I have anywhere to... Yeah, I do have a call at 12. Damn it. All right. So we got about a half hour here. Let me think about what else we want to do. Great discussion point for us to start in Discord and see what others think. I know there's people that are tiptoeing around it. I don't know anybody that's taking it very seriously to the point where they're putting a schedule, a content calendar together. You know what I mean? And frankly, I'm happy about that, if I'm being completely honest. Because I've made a lot of the mistakes, and I don't want people to get discouraged quickly. Like starting up, I would rather people take the time to learn, ask questions, watch some of mine, come hang out, learn some stuff, give me time to make some more videos, give some guidance on stuff like that. Yours will likely start when you switch customers end of June. Okay. Well, I'm having a bit of an identity crisis here, honestly, because I don't know what I have to figure out what I want this to be. I had an idea. I know what I want it to be, but the more I think about it, the more time I'm thinking, am I wasting time? Should I just be making videos and cranking those out as fast as I can, as much as I can, and building the audience and the channel here up? Should I even bother streaming right now? That's the key. Is I need to go figure that out. Because if I didn't stream 3 days a week, if I wasn't doing we could still do the watch parties. But if I didn't just, I feel like I've wasted a lot of time today. Yeah, I get to hang out with you guys, but we can do that in Discord. Should I just be making videos? You know, honing my craft there, and eventually get to the point where the channel has a decent following because I've made Boku videos. It's an ongoing thought process in my head that hasn't stopped for over a year. A year. I know we're just kind of talking about it openly now, but it's one of those things. Would having 100,000 followers? Absolutely it would. Would having 100,000 YouTube subscribers that were actually an engaged audience make it easier? Hell yes. Do I want to go buy 100,000 followers or farm 100,000 followers somehow through some giveaways or gaming mechanism? No. Because they just drop off. But yes, it would absolutely make it easier. If 10% of 100,000 people showed up, if 1% of 100,000 people showed up, you got a 1,000-person stream, 1,000 viewer stream. I've got, because of we did the giveaway earlier this year for London. You remember the Stream Deck. I've got 774 followers on Twitch. That's a lot. That's a lot of followers for someone that's barely streamed. You know how many show up? You guys. None of those show up. You guys do. Streaming is best for watch parties and actual events. Then we get back to... That's what I'm thinking, man. Because we were doing annual reviews right now. All right, for the previous fiscal year. We're going through those steps. And one of the things I noticed when I was writing out the accomplishments of the year was I was very proud of getting set up and ready to stream. But I was looking at what it actually accomplishes in the long run. Right now, with 4 viewers, I could spend these 2 hours making a new video that would get hundreds of views. Maybe if one of them pops, that gets thousands. Your initial thoughts for streaming were doing the IRL stuff at events. Yeah. I like that take on it. But I wanted a place where I could have a platform. And I could talk about the industry. I could talk about burnout. I could talk about sabbaticals. I could talk about home tech. I could talk about gaming. Basically anything. Just a platform. A podium, so to speak. You know, and I've... moving across the country, changing jobs, leaving the industry, coming back to NetApp, doing a startup. Like all of the stuff. You're pulling cables in the 90s, all the way up to... being a field CTO at a big Fortune 500 company. You know, this is really, what I really wanted it to be was not what we started it out as last fall. I was sort of persuaded to make it NetApp leaning in the cloud services. And that's what led to all of the Kubernetes work. I was genuinely curious about learning Kubernetes. The demise of NKS, or the restructure of NKS into another thing, really put a big damper on that. We started out doing the Minecraft stuff. Nobody really bit. We were doing a bunch of stuff in AWS. Nobody really bit. Tried doing stuff in Azure. Nobody really bit. Where people started biting was when I started talking about content creation. When I started doing stuff about how to stream, how to make videos. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to go shoot a crap load of video stuff after we do the watch parties this week. There's probably 100 videos I could make in the next week and just shoot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some of those, and we're going to do some live editing sessions. Right? We're going to take all this footage. We're going to take my A-roll of me. We're going to take B-roll that I've shot, the unboxing of the Synology, some crossing shots, all that stuff, and do some editing sessions. I want to show you guys how to set up to podcast, how to get really good audio. Like, the audio you're hearing right now, I'm not even processing. That's just coming straight from the mic through the interface. I'm not even doing any compression or limiting to bring up the levels, any of that kind of stuff. There's another piece of gear. I want to get the Go XLR so I can do some of that stuff, specifically for streaming. But we'll get to that. The thing that seems to have the most, and it's the least valuable to my job and to my employer, right? The other thing that I had sort of an epiphany over the weekend, and we're going to be meeting later today to talk about this. And people laugh at me when I bring this up, but if a company wants to be out there in the modern digital world, doing things like live streams, virtual events, and all of that stuff, you gotta promote your people. You've got to make your people bigger than the company. And here's the example I'm going to use, and 90% of you are going to laugh at me. until I finish, and then you're going to go, oh. WWE. Let's talk about WWE for a minute. I would challenge everybody to go and look at social media activity, statistics, milestones on YouTube and all social media platforms for the different WWE brands. Okay? If you go and look at WWE's Twitter feed, while they do have some corporate stuff out there, 98% of what the corporate brand accounts do is promote their talent, their employees. 90% plus. They promote their activities, their streams, their Instagrams, their social handles. They make them superstars. What we're dealing with in tech is the polar opposite. What we're dealing with in tech is the opposite. And we're having to go and fight to get just the attention of social media and the marketing teams that mostly operate in their own little vacuums. Let's be honest. They mostly just hang out in their little echo chambers. They schedule all their tweets. They think they're doing a good job because they get a bunch of views on LinkedIn. And people are disposable, replaceable. The only way that this is ever going to work is if companies start to recognize who their biggest advocates are, who their biggest evangelists are, and who their biggest names are, and then go find all the ones that have all the potential to be big names and elevate them and lift all of them up together. Rising tide lifts all ships. Go look at how WWE does it. I challenge you, because it's very, very eye-opening. WWE, NXT, AEW's even doing. AEW is out there sharing all the crazy shit Chris Jericho is doing. Sure, they're promoting their events too, and their merch shop, but they're promoting the merch of other superstars, not their own branded logo merch. There's a psychology at play here. There's a level of, I don't know how else to describe it. And it seems so obvious to me. But it's not obvious to corporations. That's what I really wanted to close with today. Was having a discussion around how brands can properly use social media. Because the way that it's been done for the last decade is not right. Some people have gotten it. I mean, look at any entertainment platform out there. They're promoting the talent. You don't see them promoting the side project of the second assistant camera operator, right? No, they're promoting the people that are out in front of the camera, that are out in front of the company, that are shielding them, that are answering the tough questions, that are presenting to audiences, that are visiting customers. How many thousands of people do we have out in the field that are on the front lines every day? And why are we not elevating them to be superstars? And as much as a lot of them say they want to do it, actions speak louder than words. A lot of the work just ends up circling back on the individual because they don't know how. They don't know how to do it. I'd love to hear you guys. Jason, you've been chatting. We lag behind in tech so far when it comes to how this works now. We need to learn way more from B2C, business to consumer. Yeah, totally. There is so much we could take away and learn from the B2C market. And I'm not saying all B2B promotion of co-op marketing and all that stuff needs to go away. But I'm not selling cloud services to VMware. It's just a fact. The world is different. People are different. Definition of insanity, yada, yada, yada. Keep doing the same thing, different result. Yeah. The only thing that has somehow survived the last 20 years, very surprisingly to me, is email. I can't stand email. I hate email. And a little bit of that has to do with my history with Exchange. But I also hate the fact that the only way people think they can communicate with me is through email. I check email a couple of times a day. If it's really important, call me, text me, Slack me, Discord, tweet, Facebook message. There are so many instant communication teams. There are so many instant ways to communicate now that I've been using for 20 plus years. I don't understand why email is still as prevalent. I hate the way people use it as some kind of threading mechanism for documentation. I hate the way people use it as a strong-arming tactic by CCing in a boss, thinking that that's somehow gonna... People use email now in all the wrong ways. You know what? If you got something to say to me, say it to me. That's where I really come down on email. People use it for... There's my Gmail right now. I'm going to open up my Gmail for you guys. Look at this. I'll show you guys all my crap. It's all crap. It's reminders from people trying to get me to come in to spend money, chiropractics, buy plugins. I'm live on my channel. Wayfair. Why do I need a daily digest of what's coming in the mailbox? Newegg. Microsoft couldn't renew my Xbox Game Pass. I don't plan on renewing it anyway. Ubisoft, terms and policy. Why do I need a... This is the current state of email. And people wonder why I don't check it. Something about lawns. I've unsubscribed from this place 3 times in the last 3 months. My T-Mobile bill, I know because you sent me a phone notification, right? All of this stuff that we get signed up for, and it's endless. It's an endless thread of just constant barrage, mail after mail after mail. Like, how are you even supposed to keep up with all of this? Much less care about it. And no wonder I have 13,000 unread messages. And I keep telling myself, oh, I'm going to go in and unsubscribe from all these things. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. They'll just keep coming. They just keep coming. There's no way to stop it. Yes. So to circle back, it's something that I'm going to be having several meetings about this week and in the coming weeks as we do more and more digital stuff. There's some things changing I can't talk about live on stream, but if that is going to succeed, it is in every company's best interest to identify their top 10 most vocal, most outgoing people and make them bigger than your company's brand image. They should have bigger followings. They should have more content promoted, all of that stuff. Because as they go, you go. And the problem is that companies have picked or saddled themselves to one, maybe two people over time, and then when that one person leaves, they lose all of that cachet, so they've become accustomed to never investing in that again. And the fundamental problem is they didn't do enough. Had you done more, maybe person wouldn't have left, maybe person wouldn't have looked elsewhere. Had you done it for more people, it wouldn't have been that big of an impact if one person decides to move on. You can do more. Try doing things differently, I guess is all I would say. Entertain the idea that it's not all about the company's brand and name. Entertain the idea that the people that you're employing and likely paying six-figure salaries to are out there praising you and writing good work, good blog posts, and making good videos, and starting podcasts, and streaming live on YouTube or Twitch or whatever they want to. But don't be so defensive and protective. Be more outgoing and outreaching and promotional. There's so much fear around branding these days. Oh, the font's not right. Oh, that image isn't in spec. All that stuff. Who cares? They're out there singing your praises and how amazing you are, and you're gonna accost them over not using the right font? That's the problem. Priorities are in the wrong place. Wrong place. All right. Quick reminder, then we're going to get out of here. Microsoft Build starting tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. And I guess that makes it 1 p.m. GMT, UK, I think. 8 hours. Or 5 hours from the East Coast. Yeah. And then tomorrow, and then Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, 4 p.m. UK. Thank you, Jason. You'll be on? All right, man. So we got that coming, and then we're going to start building a calendar, probably on Friday's stream. I hope by then I'll have a lot of this networking stuff sorted out. We'll have some proper routing in place and VLAN tagging in place, and we'll have a dedicated storage network, right? So let's get past tomorrow and Wednesday for build, and then we're going to start really, really cranking on some content. You're going to see a lot of videos start showing up on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed. I know the 4 of you that are on here probably already are, but help me pass the word. Help me get a lot of this stuff out there, and I'm going to help you guys by making a shit ton of videos in the next couple of months. Across the board. OBS, streaming, stream elements, graphics, all that stuff. Plus Synology and 10 gig networking, plus all the watch parties. Right, a month from now, this channel is going to look completely different. So I had to get a lot of this stuff rolling. Had to get past some stuff over the last couple of weeks, but now we're cooking. So stream looks great as long as I don't unplug the network switch. I might redo this whole overlay, this graphic, because it's starting to grate on me a little bit. It looks a little fifth grader. A little cheesy with the circuit board and stuff. It was a nice idea at first, but now I'm just not digging it at all. Might go with something a little bit more solid. The yellow is not working. And I'm thinking about changing up most of the overlays as well, but I've found a couple on Nerd or Die that I'm very interested in that are YouTube specific. So one of the hardest parts about streaming on YouTube is that 90% of stuff is geared and tailor-made for Twitch. Iconography, fonts, interactive animations, all alerts, all that stuff. Most of it's built around Twitch. I found some that are built specifically for YouTube. So I'm going to grab a couple and we'll play with them. We'll see how they go. And we'll go from there. But yeah, guys, tomorrow we'll be doing the Microsoft Build watch party. Wednesday, day 2. And then we'll be back on Friday right here on the stream at 1 p.m. Eastern for Casual Friday and some more good times with storage networking. But thanks for hanging out today, guys. Shout out to Jason, Drew. Somebody else show up? I don't think so. Jonathan, Mr. Divian. Thank you, sir. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Microsoft Build watch party. See you then, guys. Later.